Blessed day to you, brothers and sisters. I am Brother Alfred Alejo of West Sea Sector. What we are about to share with you now is the collective experiences of our brothers and sisters in West Sea. Our sector is at the very heart of Quezon City, which is the most populated city in the Philippines. Perhaps that's the reason why our sector was badly hit by COVID-19 virus and quarantine lockdowns. In our first relief operation in March, only around 500 of our members rushed to our distribution site in Odelco to receive a week's supply of goods. But that number very quickly rose to over 1,000 from our third to fifth operations. That means that more and more of our members are facing starvation. But God is so good. Almost instantly, hundreds of thousands of cash donations came in. Some donated cabans of rice, trays of salted egg, sacks of onions, and even plastic bags for repacking the goods. In December, we were able to give them Noche Buena gift packs through the generosity of Angkop. But all those blessings could not have reached our members without the servant leaders who volunteered to act as frontliners. This experience of volunteerism can be best told by our first sharer, a couple who stepped forward and managed our relief goods operations from repacking to distribution. Let me call on our dedicated cluster heads, Brother Randy and Sister Sol de Torres.
As early as March 19, 2020, our sector started planning for relief goods operation. For our members, especially those who lost their jobs due to lockdown.
It became very difficult to find a place to do such because of the no visitors allowed policy imposed by the government. So I asked him, "How about our place?" He looked at me and said, "May iba pa naman sigurong lugar na pwede, and it would be a great risk for our family."
I felt quite disturbed. Hindi rin ako mapakali. So I prayed to God for guidance. And after praying, upon opening an old notebook, this is what I read. "Do not fear." Having sensed of the Lord's message and will, so we offered and opened our home for our sector's relief operation.
The opening of our home brought joy into our hearts, knowing that many families will be blessed by the Lord.
We are happy and at peace that the Lord spoke to us and reaffirmed His presence, guidance, and love to our family.
We pray for blessings, we pray for peace, comfort for family, protection while we sleep. We pray for healing, for prosperity. We pray for your mighty hand to ease our suffering. And all the while, you hear each spoken need. Yet love is way too much to give us lesser things. 'Cause what if your blessings come through raindrops? What if your healing comes through tears? What if 1,000 sleepless nights are what it takes to know you're near? What if trials of this life are your mercies in disguise?
In April last year, we also received a donation of 1 ton of frozen fish, and not long after that, 2 tons of beef. So if some of you still doubt that God really caused manna to rain down from heaven to feed the hungry Israelites, we in West Sea would attest that God actually rained down pollock fish and Brazilian beef, which we ate to our fill. At this point, we would like you to hear some of the stories of our brothers and sisters who had their ordeal with COVID-19.
Ako po'y nagkasakit nakarang taon. Akala ko po'y simpleng trangkaso lang po ito. Ngunit mukhang lumala gawa ng ako po'y nawala ng panlasa at pangamoy. Ako po'y nag-worry at sinabi ko po kay Sister Leonie at siya naman po'y tumawag sa aming elder sa community at kay Tito Balharing upang humingi ng advice. Ang sabi po nila, pumunta na raw po kami ng hospital at para ma-double check po ang aking kondisyon. Inabot po ako ng 2 araw sa emergency room at ako po'y pinanghihinaan na ng loob. Iniisip ko po kung ako po'y makakasurvive. Paano na po kaya yung aking pamilya? Kakayanin ko pa ba? Napakahirap mga kapatid. Ngunit na 3 araw, nabigyan na po ako ng kwarto at ako po'y na-admit. Bagamat ako po'y severe pneumonia at positive po sa COVID-19, nabigyan po ako ng pag-asa na alam kong gagaling po ako. Patuloy pa rin po ang ating mga kapatid sa community, lalong-lalo na si Tito Balharing at si Tito Joe Yamamoto, na nagmo-monitor ng aking kondisyon. Maraming salamat po sa mga kapatid na sumuporta financially, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. At maraming salamat po sa ating Panginoon na binigyan po ako ng panibagong buhay, binalik po ang aking kalakasan upang makapagsilbi sa Kanya.
Who would not fear or smell death in the air when your lungs could not even absorb enough oxygen and you are stuck in one hot corner of the hospital side by side with similarly struggling for life patients? But Brother Marvin drew strength from the prayers of his family and the community, and he survived.
Nooy tinamaan ng COVID si Tita Cora Timaro. Ganon din ang kanyang asawa na si Tito June, ang anak na si John, at ang asawa nitong si Grace. Labis po kami nag-alala. Matindi po ang naranasan ng buong pamilya Timaro. Magkakahiwalay po sila sa iba't ibang ospital at quarantine facility. Mabuti nandiyan ang buong CFC community na umagapay din sa amin. Magmula sa paghahanap ng ospital, paghahanap ng gamot, nagbigay ng mga vitamins at supplements para palakasin ang immune system ng mag-anak, pati na rin paghahatid ng groceries sa mga naiwang naka-quarantine sa bahay ng Timao family, pagbibigay moral support sa balisa naming kaisipan, at higit sa lahat ay ang sama-sama na di miminsang napagod sa paulit-ulit na pagdarasal ng CFC community para sa kanilang paggaling. Masakit pang tanggapin ay pumaraw nga din po si Tita Cora. 1 month po bago namin nasabi ito kay Tito June na wala ng kanyang asawa. Sa awa po ng Diyos, nakarecover din po sa COVID sila Tito June, ang mga anak nila, pati na rin ang aking ina at kapatid na tinamaan din. This is all because of God's love na nagmanifest sa ating lahat.
Brother Arnold did everything he could, but still Sister Cora died, while Brother June, the husband, struggled to survive. But they both still serve until now. That's how comforting the love of family and community is.
My family received the greatest miracle last year through the love and deep faith of our community. My wife, 2 kids, and I were confined after being infected by the COVID-19 virus July of last year. Among all of us, I was the most critical due to my comorbidities. I was unconscious for 8 days in the ICU, with the doctors uncertain if I would survive or not. At our lowest and most desperate point, my family received great love from the community and our family through their unceasing and faithful prayers. God used so many people to manifest His love and mercy to our family, and the miracle of healing started to unfold. It was only after I woke up that I realized the tremendous support and love that my family and I received. God sent us doctors and nurses that never gave up on us, especially when our hope was beginning to wane. He used so many people, many of them still unknown to us until today, so that all the medicines and the medical equipment we needed all came at the right time. As we were about to be discharged, we received yet another amazing miracle when final tests showed that there were no permanent damage on any of my organs, and I was on my way to full recovery.
Brother Bong was almost lifeless for several days while the whole community and his family were praying for him. Now, he lives as a testament that miracles still happen. Sister Cecil was not feeling well at the time when she opted to help in the relief operation, queuing at the supermarket to buy groceries for our beloved members. So, God sent her an angel who took good care of her.
Brother Val was instrumental in the healing of brothers Marvin, June, and Bong. I too was one of his first patients during the onset of the COVID scare. He has greatly helped me when I got sick in April last year. He sacrificed a lot of his time in monitoring me until I recovered. He would check on me every day, at least 3 times a day. Either he calls or sends texts. He would prescribe medicines virtually so that I have something to take immediately. If I cannot find the medicines he prescribed, he himself goes out and makes sure I get them on the same day, or he personally delivers. I find that what he does is deeply personal, rooted in his willingness to help out of love and making himself an instrument of God's healing. Thank you, Brother Val, for taking care of me and all others in our community.
Brother Val took care of all 71 COVID patients, called them every day, even gave them vitamins and medicine. He is a walking clinic who shared their fears and their pains. I surmise that it is pure Christian love.
Allow me to start my sharing as I quote from 1 Chronicles 16 verse 18. O give thanks to the Lord, call upon His name, make known His deeds among the peoples. My wife Ding and I are witnesses to God's amazing love, grace, and mercy, especially at this time of pandemic. At times we question ourselves, why do we do these things? Where do we get the inspiration, and especially the energy? Circumstances like entertaining daily calls and texts for consultations, doing follow-ups, calling them every day, asking them kung ano na yung mga symptoms nila, ano mga pangangailangan nila, lalo na ang kanilang pamilya, gaya ng gamot, pagkain, and on what to do if quarantined at home. At times, the patient needs to be brought to a COVID facility, so we have to monitor them too. The biggest challenge is when these patients need hospitalization. Tulong-tulong po kami sa sector sa pag-coordinate kung saan sila pwedeng confine. Napakahirap din po talaga. Minsan dumarating yung pangamba kung hanggang saan namin kakayanin tuniting. Minsan dumating yung punto na naapektuhan na din po ako. Parang nangihina na rin po ako. At one time, I was crying at the middle of the night because I really felt I could no longer sustain. Baka naman ako naman ang magkasakit. Nandiyan yung takot at pangamba. But we really felt that we have a commitment to a higher calling from above to do great things for Him, especially to our brothers and sisters in dire need of our help. Dito namin pinatunayan na kung gaano namin kamahal ang isang kapatid sa pananampalataya na higit pa sa aming sarili. Yan ang Couples for Christ, because we know in our heart that Christ lives in us. God is really good. He has equipped us with the things that we need, especially in difficult situations. God has answered our prayers for their healing. Every time I talk to my patients, I really felt His presence, coaching me on the things I have to say and the things I have to do. Indeed, and I quote, that we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, we have been called according to His purpose. We continue to pray to God that He will give us the grace to continue to persevere and grow in love and holiness for Him every day of our lives, and to continue to proclaim the love of Jesus and His greatness to others.
Our community was not spared from the distressful effect of COVID-19. Our sharers went through traumatic experiences, fear, pain, and even encountered death face to face. But it is in their darkest hours that they saw God's light the brightest. Miraculously, they endured. They emerged stronger, even more faithful and more assured of God's abiding love. Another interesting fact is that all of them felt that kind of brotherly love almost instantaneously in so simple acts of love, like helping them to look for a room in the hospital, giving them medical advice, calling them every day just to say, don't worry, you will be well, and to them that we are praying for you. Just come to think of it, brothers and sisters. It's like having crossed from a no man's land to the promised land. Perhaps it is because someone or some people have shown what God love is. May God be praised.